my name is Fabio the Proft and I'm a 3D animator here at my own company called Imaginary Globe, where I provide film productions, 3D feature, VFX and even work on game animations. We also get hired by bigger companies to work on bigger projects. For example, I've worked on Asterix and Obelix The Middle Kingdom and the latest Emilia Clarke movie, The Pod Generation. Besides that, we also provide animation courses, whether it's local or online, for everyone who wants to become an animator. Today I'm here with Autodesk. We've been working together since 2021 and it has been absolutely amazing. We're providing you with an advanced animation series where I'll be animating a small dragon and talk you through the process of how to animate such a creature. This requires you to already have a little bit of Maya knowledge, but don't you worry, I will explain everything really in depth. So if you're interested, please follow along and enjoy animating. In this series we will start animating a fun dragon shot. We will dive into the entire workflow from references to final product. The rig cannot be provided, but all the information is applicable to all other dragon rigs found online and creature rigs. So, in this first part, we will focus on body references. One of the challenges of animating these fantasy creatures, like dragons or even dinosaurs, is the lack of useful reference. You can't just import a live action reference of a dragon to start animating. So we are forced to look at real life animals that are close to the creature that we want to animate. In this case, lizards, crocodiles, and even birds are our inspiration. So how are we getting our references and how do we get them into Maya? So references can be found everywhere online. Most of the time it's gonna be YouTube, just videos of people filming lizards or dogs or whatever. And then you need to bring them into Maya. You can bring them into Maya by using an image plane. There are several ways to import an image plane, so I will show you now two ways to do it. So first you can go to Create Free Image Plane. And this one allows you to import an image or an entire image sequence into your Maya. So you go to the attributes and you'll find the image name. For example, here, basic animal walk pattern. So, and you can scale it how you like. This one is from the book Richard Williams, the animation survival kit. And if you have an entire video, it's important to check the use image sequence. For example, let's go to a video. For example, a crocodile walking. Use the image sequencer, and now you can play the video in your Maya for reference. Some good advice on using the image sequencer. You should, in any other software, transform your video into a JPEG or PNG sequence. This is best for Maya to read, so that's some useful advice. For this course, I obviously prepared some stuff that we can look at. But first, let's look at what we're going to create by the end of the series. So let's remove this image plane. This is a dragon I previously animated where the dragon is having trouble getting his one wing to work. But in this tutorial we will animate both wings to work properly. So let's check out our storyboard. So it's a bit of the same animation. So the dragon is still standing in the pose position, wakes up, comes alive, looking around, walking, checking out his wings, and then jumping and takes flight. Just in the air, happy, just looking to himself like, wow, I'm flying. Landing, shaking off the landing, and ending a cool pose. Before we jump into creating this, we obviously need references, like I said before, because we have some cool key poses here, but we need to learn how the animal moves and behaves in those situations. So I prepared some stuff that we can take a look at while we learn about this animal. So first things first, let's go to the 2D analyzement of the stuff. Okay, Here's some 2D stuff that you can read in books about animation, about how animals behave and walk. And you have some 2D animation principles that can be found online, that you can see here in the animal gates. And if we compare the studies of the basic animal walk pattern with the video about 2D animation, then we will notice that creatures mostly walk in the same way as a dog would trot. So when certain feet are moving left, right, when connecting with the ground and leaving the ground again, here we can see it here again, and we can learn about the shoulders and the pelvis up and down. And for a dragon we obviously need wings. So let's see a bit more into detail. For the people who have never used the 2D pen in Maya before, let's see. Let me show you how it works. So you can go in this camera tools, select 2D pen / zoom tool, and with this tool you can zoom into different portions in your camera. For example, you really want to see animal action, you can hold Control and drag. Control and drag, and now we are focused on this part. Going back to your normal camera place, you just press this button, which deactivates the tool. So let's see, animal action. What we can learn about the chest, the shoulders. So going up when this is down, and when the feet is touching the ground, directly onto the ground, the chest goes up, but also the shoulder goes up. It's something some people do the other way around, because they think, okay, the body goes up, so the shoulder is going down, but also the shoulder should be going up in this time. And then our wings. Our wings is something that we can check out. Check out last. Already take a small look at it. Okay, so here we are. So how our dragon is going to fly is going to use the same physics as a bird would use. So this is really nice to see a breakdown of how wings would lift up a body. It's a bit hard with the dragon, since the proportions and the physics don't really make sense, since a dragon wing should be way bigger for the size that the dragon is, because if a dragon would live in our world, there would be no way these wings would be able to carry him. But we're in animation, so everything is possible. So let's get back to our 2D reference. Go out of this. Let's take a closer look at our basic walk pattern. We here again can see the chest going down and up. Some words about the shoulder, when you should use them. It's all basically the same, but here we also get a good view on the top view of the animal. Here we can start showing you how you can highlight some important stuff by using the blue pencil tool. This allows you to draw in Maya in 2D. The toolbox dialog window can be opened up by pressing the button in the right top corner with the 3 lines and the hammer. This allows you to edit the settings of the tool you are currently using. And just like you would see in maybe older software, you can have an entire layering system and shapes and all kind of stuff to work with. Okay, so we're focused on this part, and in our dragon animation, when it's walking, we're going to also look for these S kind of shapes that you can see here and here marked in the blue line. And here I can highlight the shoulder position. So this is really important to make an unbelievable walk or movement in the animals that we're going to see. So we can name this layer basic walk pattern. Okay, you can toggle it on or off. So yeah, here you go. With this information in your head, you can start looking into real life animals, like trying to find what the shoulder is doing, for example, or what the body is doing, like what the pelvis is doing, trying to project the knowledge that you have from these pages of the book onto the real animals, So let's have a look at some real life video. I prepared it here, video ref. So I just showed you the camera tools, the pen tool and the zoom tool. You can save these positions in this button right here. So I already saved one, birds, tada. So now it's zoomed in and you can enable the tool as well. Saving stuff can be done like this. For example, we want to see two videos at the same time, right? But we want to be zoomed in. So you disable first the pencil tool. Then you go to the 2D pen and zoom tool. And same as before, you control select what you want to see. Sometimes it zooms out. Okay. And yeah, somewhere here. Okay. Now you want to see this panned position like a lot of times, but you don't want to recreate it every time. So what you can do is save this penning position. So you right click on this button right here and create a 2D bookmark. So in the editor of the bookmarks, you can press new 2D bookmark and give it a name like birds and crocodile. Make sure to put these signs because Maya doesn't like spaces, but it would automatically fill those in anyway, so don't worry about it too much. Press enter. Now we can see it's added to the list. So close. So let's disable this tool. And now we can see birds and crocodile, and you click on it, and now you're zoomed in like before. Now we know how our panning and zoom tool works. We can start dissecting our reference and look for some important or interesting things in our reference. So let's first look at our birds. So we take our blue pencil ready. You can put it here if it's easier for you. Maya is very good at managing different windows and placing them everywhere. So let's create a new layer. Here you can see cam 2D ref, cam video ref. So blue pencil already knows that it has to sort between cameras. You do not have floating blue pencil data everywhere. Okay, that's it. Let's start looking at our video of birds. Right. Okay, so here it's trying to lift up from the water, which is not super important for us since it's focused on walking on the water at the same time. Okay, so let's see. Here we have some good ones. Here we have a big bird with big wings trying to break itself to lose momentum so it can land on this tiny very edge of a stick. Okay, so what we can see here now is the shape of the wings. It's very open, as you can see here. It's even here we have wide open feathers, so it means it's trying to get as wide as possible to get the biggest break it can get. Then it's closing it very fast in the other direction. So if it's breaking it, so it's pushing wind this way while it's going the other way. The wind, I mean. So that's what what makes the bird take a good break here. Some cool shapes that you can copy later in your video. Like here, you can see the blue pencil lines from the previous frame are still here, but you can turn off or turn on ghosting however you like. It's what one prefers. But sometimes I like to see where the stuff comes from, so we can start tracking. So if you really want to start tracking, we can keep on drawing. So here we have the wing open and it's starting to close, so it's somewhere here. And then, oh, it's going really fast. And then we're ending somewhere here. And now we have a tracked wing. Yes, okay. Let's look for another bird. We can name this Big Bird. Add another layer, hide this one. Oh, here we have a really good close-up of a bird being very stationary in the air. So that's something that we want for our storyboard. So here our drake will be floating in air and just looking around. It's not really going in a direction. It just needs to keep himself in the air. So let's remove that very quickly. Okay, let's go back to our video. So let's track the wings and what the body does. So as probably many of you already know, when the wings go down, the body goes up. Just like in our 2D ref about the birds. Birds, yes. So wing goes down, body goes up. You can see here the eye line. So when the wings are up, the head is lower and the body is lower than when the wings are down. So this is what I mean by taking your 2D knowledge or what you read in books and taking it to the video reference. And here we can see some very cool shapes as well that we can use later on in our animation. Okay, I think that's enough for birds since we don't have a lot of flying going on in our storyboard. So let's check out the crocodile. We can find our dragon here. So just disabling the zoom tool. Let's hide this bird video for now. And let's look at the crocodile. If your image plane looks like this, it means you ran out of frames. Don't panic, it's just you ran out of frames. So when your video ends, Maya will just display nothing, because it has nothing to display. Well, okay, so let's give our bird quickly a name. The drawing that we made, bird, small, airborne, static, something like this. And let's look at our crocodile. Prepared it here. Okay, let's see. So going very close to animals that are a bit like a dragon. I think the crocodile has a really cool shape. It could be. It's not far from where dragons are created off. So here we can see the walk and we can really see this. Let me take a bit of a smaller. Yes. See this cool curve in the body. So that's something that we want to recreate when we're doing this. The small, it's the smallest walk. Here, right from here to here, we have a very small walk. But even in these small walks, we want to be able to recreate this organic feeling of motion. So let's get back to our video reference. Here we go. So I will keep this. Yes. Okay. And then what do we also see? You can really see the chest move, like the rotation of the chest is really visible. and the crocodile is turning. And in the books, they focus a lot of shoulder movements. So here we can see the lowest point of the shoulder. Yeah, well, it's not the shoulder there, but it's the same principle. And here it's the highest. So lowest and highest. And then when the feet get placed, okay, let me shorten this a bit. Now we are here already. So the difference is pretty big. Here and here. But this leg, right? And the same thing can be said about this one. So here we have the highest point, and then the pressure releases, body goes down, shoulder goes even more down. It's just like we saw in the books. And that's actually the best thing that we can take from this reference is just walking behavior of this big animal. So next up is a dog. I used this dog because it had a cool view on the front of the body, and the way it walks is pretty fun to look at. You can see the weight shifting in the head going from this direction to this direction. Very important to not keep our head stuck in the same axis. It's important that we use all axes when they're available and making it a smooth movement. But because the dog is not as heavy as a dragon, we cannot use this movement of the paw, since because of the weight, our dragon will more move like a Komodo dragon. So let's look at our Komodo. Very big, dangerous, and we can see something completely different. That's why I showed the dog video. Here we can see the leg going very, very out of the body and then returning in. So it's like this. While we know that the dog would have been going like this. It's a big difference to see, and that's because one of the reasons is the weight of the body and how low the Komodo dragon is to the ground. It doesn't really have space here to put his legs. So let's go to our dragon rig. Camera, here we go. We have a dragon. So before you start really animating towards what you want to see in the storyboard, so this stuff, you want to check out your rig. So is it possible to do everything that you want with what you saw in the reference videos? So for example, is it possible to do the pelvis, like make some good movement on the pelvis, some rotations? Maybe to make it clear for all of you, we can press this button, everything turns gray. It's a bit faster than with textures. Here everything is fine as well. Some good tests. And then we know the shoulders are really important, so you're going to look for some controllers that mimic the shoulder movement and the knees. And once you've tested everything and you checked for some cool features like the toe roll or the ball roll, the twists, the banking, so you know how and when you're going to use this once compared to the reference. And if you played around with your rig a bit, then you can jump into putting key poses. We know our key poses from the storyboard, so that's where we'll start the second part of this series.